try to hunt down a quarterback wearing a different color jersey?
Finally, honestly, camp was long, but we needed it. I felt like we got a lot better during the time, but everybody's ready to stop hitting each other and hit somebody else, so I can't wait.
Tell us a little bit about the offense that's running runs, a little bit different, a lot of option. How disciplined do you want to be, and how's your experience with Georgia Tech handling in that regard?
With these type of offenses, it's a little tricky just because you always have to be sound in your discipline and just knowing exactly what you have to do because at any time a big play could break off. But we have multiple of these teams in the first about half of our season, so I feel like our prior experience with Georgia Tech will lead us to have a good game. And yeah.
When you hit Blackman, did you feel it?
Did I feel it?
Yeah.
I definitely felt that was a good hit. I didn't know how good it was going to be going into it, but I definitely felt the impact. Yeah.
When did you first start feeling that pain from out here?
That actually wasn't the play. I was injured. It was tackling a lineman. I just kind of fell on it wrong, but it wasn't actually the Blackman play where I was injured.
Will it be good to get back out there Saturday, take in the crowd, stand at that usual linebacker spot, and think how much you missed it?
Having the injury was a difficult time for me. Missing those couple games, obviously I would have loved to play in them, but staying out there for this first game, knowing that I did all my rehab and came back, will be just the best feeling in the world.
You're at least halfway through your time here at Clemson. Reflect on how you've grown in the past 2 years.
I would say the most mentally. I think my freshman year I just had a hard time grasping everything, and I've really worked my hardest to become a better player, a better man now that I've been here, and just becoming a field general and knowing exactly what I need to be able to do. I feel like there's been a huge growth in me, and me and my coaches can see it. So I feel like Clemson's done a great job.
Those front four guys get all over the club, and they make life easier for you.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you guys ever think, man, hey, we're here too, me and Kendall and Isaiah.
I mean,
Play on the same defense.
those guys deserve all that pub. It's not only that they're big guys, but they've shown that they can play. And so all the pub is deserved, and obviously they make life way better for me and for Kendall, and so we love those guys. But obviously everybody wants their shine, and you know what I mean? Once the season starts, we'll see what happens.
Explain to everyone just that when those guys are taking up those blocks and double teams, how it frees you guys up in the gaps and able to blitz in untouched, how that affects your play.
Absolutely. When you got guys like, especially Dexter, Christian right there in the middle, they require double teams all the time, which doesn't allow a guard to say combo up to me, and it makes gaps a lot bigger, a lot easier to see, and kind of your reads and your fallback gaps are much easier to get to.
Can you remember a play from the past year or two where you made the play, you made the tackle, everybody's congratulating you, but you go back and go, yeah, that was because of what Dexter or Christian or somebody did?
Oh man, I'll say that Florida State play, James Blackman. I was literally untouched that entire play. No one even comboed off to me because they were thinking about Dorian and everybody on that edge, that everybody blocked down on them, and I was completely free, and I was able to make the best play that I've ever made. So just that play, obviously, yeah.
Cleveland said yesterday that the linebackers were kind of itching to get more sacks this season.
Yeah.
Can you name any names? Were you one of those?
Always. Obviously, tackles feel great, but that sack gives you kind of an extra juice. So everybody wants some of those. And, linebackers aren't obviously in pass rush all the time, but when you do get that opportunity, you want to make the best of it.
Trey, can you share sort of your development in pass coverage? I know that's an area you wanted to kind of improve on as well.
Yeah, for me, I didn't do a lot of pass coverage in like high school or prior, so I didn't have a lot of experience. But going through these last couple of years, just watching the film and knowing exactly kind of the pass routes and kind of combinations that I can get helped me a lot in pass coverage, and I think you'll see my growth over these upcoming games.
How much do you think Dorian's prowess in that regard kind of helped you in bringing you along in that department?
What do you mean last season?
With Dorian or
Dorian's a great player and very athletic, and he knows what he's doing all the time on the field, and you can see that in his pass coverage. So kind of learning from him, not only in games but in practice every day, seeing that kind of the technique he brought to it and the kind of just the eye discipline he had. You learn from that, and I feel like it helped me a lot.
Anything else?
Trey, can you see the depth that's on the defense? When you look at the depth chart, there's 37 guys. It's not a ball, but this is the depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
The injuries usually happen because somebody being tired. It just seems like in the rotation, that's not going to go.
I think the depth on Clemson's defense is an incredible thing, and it shows that everybody's had meaningful snaps, not just end of the game snaps, but meaningful snaps during the game, which means that everybody can get in there and play at a high level, which means we won't have a drop off from first to second to third team even. So it really helps us, especially towards the end of the season when people are getting a lot of snaps, because while other people will be tired because maybe they don't have as much depth on their team, we'll be fresh because we've been rotating the entire game all through the season.
Along those lines, Coach Venables said Chad Smith is really right there pushing the ones at linebacker. You've seen a lot of growth from him in spring and August.
Yeah, Chad's a vet. He's been here for a long time. It shows. He knows what he's doing. He's very athletic. He plays a great game. So he really has been not only pushing everybody, but pushing me specifically to try and make my game better.
Linebacker is like the quarterback of the defense. Can you explain to the folks out there what it's like to put guys into position and how to communicate in that environment?
I think you really got to be on your P's and Q's whenever you do that. Like you said, we are the quarterback of the defense, and it's very loud out there, especially in Death Valley. We have some of the best fans in the world, so you got to really get up there and let people know what they need to be doing, hand signals, all stuff like that. So just being vocal, always knowing where you need to be, but not only that, where other people need to be. So just got to be in your book and know what you're doing and have everybody trust you in that fact.
Is it a little easier in that respect when you're on the road and it's a lot quieter when you're on defense, but just the communication standpoint?
It's a little easier because it's a little quieter, but obviously defense really feeds off the energy, so it's a lot funner to play at home, obviously.
Cleveland and Christian are known for having these big personalities, very outgoing. What is your role like in the locker room? Are you more of an outgoing leader like this, or kind of a more reserved leader?
I would say more reserved. Personally, I've always been someone who feels like they should lead by their actions. I mean, there's a lot of different leadership types on the team, but I feel like mine is more of a laid-back type of leader.